Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Second video of the day today, because this is actually pretty important if you live in North Carolina. Last week, North Carolina Governor Cooper, he's an odd fellow. From what I understand, when he was in the legislature, he sided with the Second Amendment more often than not. And now that he's become governor, he has basically aligned himself with Everytown for gun safety and has not been a friend. And last week he vetoed a bill, and it's HB 652. I'll have a link down below. And what it looks to do, 652 was kind of a fixed bill. Not a fixed Nix bill, but North Carolina, they already have a law that allows, I hate when I'm using that term, but concealed carry permit holders can legally carry a firearm in a freestanding church in North Carolina. And I guess that there are some scenarios or some localities where churches are held in like a school setting, maybe like your Catholic school, your parochial school, stuff like that. And as currently constituted, you can't carry there to protect yourself from a bad guy if one were to enter the church, and we know that happens. So this bill looked to rectify that, and the bill had protections for the school built into it. The long and the short of it is, if the school was in session, then people couldn't carry. And on top of that, the property owner themselves had the ability to either accept or to allow or not allow firearms on their property during service hours. So that made its way to the governor's desk, and the governor vetoed it. And last week when he vetoed it, the governor said, and I'm just paraphrasing because it's been a week since I read it, but something like, we're keeping guns off of school property, or something like that, keeping teachers safe or something. I forget the exact quote. However, when churches are in session, it's typically like Sunday mornings or like midweek evenings, and schools just aren't in session at that time. So he was kind of, I guess, stretching, but this is my opinion from afar. I don't live in North Carolina, so I really don't know about these types of scenarios where churches are held in schools. But they just look to fix the law so that people had equal protection, that clause that's in the Constitution, where if they were in a separate church that was technically attached to a school, they'd still have their right. The interesting thing about this bill is that on June 25th is when both chambers of the North Carolina legislature voted on it. It passed the House with a vote of 77 yeas and 38 nays. Also in the Senate, 33 yeas to 14 nays. And why is that? Why are those numbers important? Well, those are important if you are Speaker of the House Tim Moore in North Carolina, because as long as those votes carry over, they have enough to override the governor's veto. The other thing to note is on this bill, some Democrats voted in favor of this as well. And from what I'm reading real quick, I guess there are up to 12 Democrats that voted for this bill that live in like rural areas where this is like the only place you can go to church, I guess, is that it's part of a school. So they obviously might want to keep their vote the same way going into election time. So if you do live in North Carolina, it is imperative right now that you contact your legislators. I'll have a link down below how to find who your legislators are in North Carolina. And why do I say that? Because it's on the House calendar for this Wednesday. And depending on when you're watching this Wednesday is June 8th, 2020. Now, just because it's on the schedule doesn't mean it's going to be initiated. But the Speaker of the House has just hinted that they have the amount needed to override, and he's looking to do that. Again, if you live in North Carolina, it's HB 652. Link down below to find out who your elected officials are so that you can get on them and tell them, hey, we would love for this to pass, and you should vote accordingly. All right, guys and gals, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Please subscribe to Guns and Gadgets if you would like the Second Amendment news, no matter where it happens, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Usually it's very indifferent. But you can find all of that here on Guns and Gadgets. And I would love to have you join us, because the bigger this community gets, the more we are all on the same page with what's happening, and the better off we will be in the long run. especially going into the elections. So thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapon. Take care, everybody.